you want to hear about a vampire?
Yes.
Yeah, always. I got to put this in the light because I'm blind.
About you.
It's about me. A Fruita, Colorado woman who drove her car.
It's about you.
I'm fruity. No, Fruita.
No, Fruita. It's about a woman. That's
Yes,
what
I get it. I thought you meant Fruita,
Whatever.
Colorado.
No, I meant a woman vampire.
Okay, I'm slow today.
Okay.
Ma'am. We're not on the same
sorry,
brain.
sir.
My brain wave is broken today. Okay, so a Colorado woman drove her car into a canal in June 2010. She blamed the accident on a vampire. She said she was driving on a dirt road late at night when she spotted a vampire in the middle of the road and hastily put the car in reverse. When troopers arrived, they found the woman's car in the canal, but surprise, surprise, there was no sign of the vampire.
No way.
No shit. I bet her husband was just going to be really mad at her, so she panicked. It was a vampire, I swear. Upside down. Wang Zhao, a bartender from Hunan Province, China, gives haircuts while standing on his head. A trained martial artist, of course. He performs his headstands on the table to achieve the right height for cutting the customer's hair.
Okay.
All right. All right, another headstand story. Chris Sleeman of the Dallas Extreme Performance Group, Traumatic Stress Discipline, appears to feel no pain. At the 2007 grand opening of the Ripley's Believe It or Not Auditorium in San Antonio, Texas, he lay face down in a pile of freshly broken glass bottles and then invited Ripley employee to stand on his head.
What?
Chris's pain-defying feats also included having a concrete block on his chest shattered by a sledgehammer while lying on a bed of nails. Like, why? And who thinks, oh, gee, I want to try this?
I know it.
How do you know you're going to survive?
Yeah.
And yuck. There's this gross.
See from here.
Put your glasses on. There.
There was a glare. What an idiot.
Yeah. I'm going to put glass in. Don't you get glass all in your orifices?
Yeah.
Ew.
You can't feel it. You don't care.
He doesn't care. He's drugged up. No, I don't know. Okay, so Paul Walton.
Yeah, really. He doesn't tell that he takes a handful of
Morphine.
painkillers before
Or he shoots himself up with morphine.
Yeah.
Am I here?
I can't feel nothing.
I'm invincible. I have no pain. Until the next day. When you need another shot of morphine. So Paul Railton was fined $100 in 2010 for taking his dog for a walk while driving alongside in his car. What a jerk. And how lazy.
Right. I don't care if you're only going 2 miles an hour. Really?
Well, he was spotted driving at low speed along a country lane in England, holding his lurcher's leash through the car window as the dog trotted next to him. Just get out, you lazy. I wonder if he was really fat.
I bet
he was. His scooter batteries failed, so he had... Okay, so a nautical novice who thought he was sailing around the coast of Britain in a counterclockwise direction ended up circling a small island off Kent instead. He was rescued by a lifeboat after running out of fuel off of the 8-mile-wide Isle of Sheppey, whose shore he had been hugging day and night on the principle of keeping the land to his right. He had not realized that Sheppey was an island. So he just kept going around and around it.
Sounds like something I would do.
Huh. That would be me if I was sailing.
Yeah.
Which I would never be. I would not want to be out in the middle.
So he was trying to go somewhere, but he was just going in around the island.
Around the island, because he kept by the principle of keeping land to his right.
I would so do something
that
like
would be me. That would be me. A consignment...
That tree looks familiar.
A consignment consignment of mayonnaise fell off the back of a truck in Hyogo, Japan, causing an 8-vehicle pileup as cars and motorcycles skidded wildly on the crushed sauce. The highway had to be closed for 5 hours.
Oh, I bet. Gross.
Mayonnaise! Yeah, I bet that was so nasty and slimy. Okay, so a 10-year-old girl who decided to act dead while playing in the street with her friends. This is me and you. I've done this before. I dare you to lay in the road. You know, and it was just a road like our neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, like a dead-end street, but I dare you. You know, this is something you and I would do totally. A 10-year-old girl who decided to act dead while playing in the street with her friends sparked panic among neighbors when her image was captured by Google Street View cameras. Azura Bibijan was pictured laying face down on the pavement outside of her home in Worcestershire, England, prompting residents browsing their neighborhood online to fear that they had stumbled across a murder scene.
Yes, we would do something like that.
We totally would. We'd be like, is the camera on? Okay, act dead. Don't breathe. Don't move. An Australian mining company has invented a hat that wakes up sleepy truck drivers.
What is it, zap you?
I don't know. Maybe. A high-tech smart cap is fitted with brain monitoring sensors, and if the driver seems to be drifting off, the cap sends a message to a computer screen in the truck cab, which then flashes a warning.
That's very smart.
I like your shocker idea. But then they get in an accident.
Yeah.
You know.
But I love that idea.
I like that idea. Because a lot of truckers try to, you know, push through, and they need to rest, and they won't because they are on a schedule. You know? I think that's good. Okay, so people across the world spend more than 700 billion minutes a month surfing through the website of Facebook. This has to be old. I don't believe that. I think TikTok or Insta or something like that.
I believe I do it on YouTube.
Or yeah, YouTube too. I should promote us. That's what we're on. YouTube. Watch 700 billion minutes of Legends, Lore, Huntings, and more a month.
Yeah.
That's a lot though.
Yeah.
Surfing through the website of Facebook. This is what the Palo Alto, California-based social networking site. Since it was launched in 2004, more than 500 million people have joined Facebook, and that's around 8% of the world's population. But I think this is, I mean, it's from the early 2000s, this book. So I think that is most likely changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so police in Switzerland hired a roadside angel to stop motorists driving too fast.
Oh.
This man is dressed in white. He has wings. And the angel, played by a bearded actor, he stands at different locations and flaps his wings at speeding drivers.
Wow.
I think that's nice.
That's so
And
neat.
it also is like,
hey,
happy.
Yeah.
But it's like in a nice way, not like,
yeah.
slow down, you'll get a ticket, jerk. You know, it's
well, you know what
do you want to die?
Yeah.
You could be me.
Yeah. Or they could also have the Grim Reaper.
That would be better. Well, that'd be
for drunk drivers.
For drunk drivers, yeah, that would be good.
Have like both of them. They're like, or
yeah.
One of us is gonna,
and then have like a really vivid picture of like a baby doll.
And then have those kids out there laying on the ground.
No, have your Mrs. Beasley with her mouth cut open and put like some glass in it from the windshield.
Blood dripping out her
ketchup down her face.
Cut her arm off.
Put her foot in her eye. All right, we went from nice to
that went
real quick. Kung Fu champion Chris Roper from Suffolk, England, can break a 26-inch thick block of concrete with his foot, 20-inch with his elbow, and a 12-inch with his bare hand. That's a thick-ass concrete, dude. I'll have to put that on Hiya for a fun fact. Hiya for a fun fact. Okay, so in November 2009, I'm going to butcher this name, Manjit Singh from Leicester, England, pulled a...
He's from England?
Yeah. Like Hello Kitty's from London.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We're generalizing, Holly.
I'm so sorry. No one would guess that I'm Irish, so who knew?
Top of the morning.
I forgot to tell everybody I was converting to Irish.
Yes, I'm converting. So in November 2009, this chick Manjit Singh, or it could be a man, I don't know this person.
It says man. Duh.
Manjit. Hello.
Again, I'm whatever you said I was doing.
Generalizing.
That's the word.
So this person pulled a double-decker London bus 70 feet using only his hair.
Oh my gosh.
Ow. By attaching a clamp to his thick ponytail, he managed to pull the 7-ton bus through Battersea Park. The feat made up for a disappointment in 2007 when he had been unable to pull a similar bus with his ears.
Oh my gosh. Ow. Why?
That
the hair thing.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, ears? My follicles.
No. Okay. Yes, you heard that in stereo.
Human pushers, quote unquote pushers, are hired to work on Tokyo's subway system to help cram more people into the overcrowded
train. Are you serious?
Get in there!
Suck it in!
Oh my God. Move it, fat suck it, you God! Could you imagine? Oh, we can fit 12 more. Push! Like, oh, well, the one guy lived in a phone booth, so they do tiny things. Like, I don't know. Suck it up! We don't have obesity. It's illegal in Japan. It is. That is no lie. Obesity is illegal. I think it's either China or Japan. You can't. You can get fined and go to prison for being fat. Unless you're like a sumo.
I know, yet they have them.
That's what I'd say. I'd be like,
I'm training to be a sumo.
Yeah, training sumo. See, look, hiya. Okay, so a section of road near Eureka, Missouri, is covered with asphalt made from recycled pig manure, courtesy from a nearby hog farm. But your tires smell great. But that whole town.
Where did you come from?
So at age 12 and standing at only, at age 12 and standing at only 4 foot 10 inches.
Are you taller than him? Or is that the same size?
I'm 4'11".
Yeah, look at you
but
giant.
But this dude's a 12-year-old 7th grader.
I'm giving you some.
I haven't grown since 7th grade.
I'm giving you some credit here.
Thanks. I love you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for making me look good. All right, so this kid, 12 years old, 4 foot 10, 7th grade, Michael LaGrave from Merida, Mexico, is a seasoned bullfighter.
Wow.
And he's challenged more than 50 snorting, charging 500-pound beasts in Colombia, Peru, and France, as well as in his native country, known as Michelito. He first stepped into, I did that like Italian.
Yeah.
Sorry. Michelito. He first stepped into the ring with a young bull when he was just 4.5.
Wow.
That's crazy. He's my size. Could you imagine 500
No,
pounds?
you are 1 inch taller than a bullfighter.
Oh, I am going places, baby. Okay, so Julica Fasau from Piatra Neamt, Romania, allowed 50 motorbikes and a 3-ton Jeep to ride over her stomach one by one.
Okay.
Okay, so...
For what reason?
Death wish.
Excellent.
Do you remember when we were kids? It's a little off topic, but it's still on topic. Do you remember the show That's Incredible?
Barely.
Okay, well, it was kind of like a Ripley's.
Yeah.
And there also was a Ripley's, too.
Right.
Well, there was a guy on there that was from this area that used to take a cannon to the stomach. Do you remember that guy?
I remember that.
Well, my husband knew him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, his dad knew him or something like that. The Cannon guy. He was real like famous in this because he's from this area.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of
And then, like,
little fun
who
fact.
would ever start out doing what?
Like, that's what I asked Dan. I said, so what made him decide, I wonder if I could take a Cannon? Like, don't you think, oh,
Yeah.
I might die?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know
geez, that's really going to hurt. But let me try it.
Or I might end up in the hospital and
Yeah.
paralyzed. Like, how do you
Yeah.
know? Or, like, who first starts to swallow a sword?
Yeah.
Like, I think I could
Or
do
a
it.
fire, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, let me see if I can live through this.
Like, that's what I said. These people
Yeah.
must have a death wish or something.
Yeah.
Or just, like, they just want to be the best. I don't know. Okay, so a teenager, James Brown. James Brown. Ow!
Could you do that?
In the hot tub. Okay. He is from Nottinghamshire, England. He had a collection of 50 vacuum cleaners.
Cheerio. What?
Why?
What? He had what?
Why did he have a collection of 50 vacuum cleaners?
But his house was filthy. No.
Okay, so his love
them.
for them. He loves them.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to know how or why.
That's why I'm like, why? My mind went there, and I didn't want to
Thank
go
you,
there. But
brain.
after hearing that story that we said
Yeah.
off air,
Yeah.
it was too spicy for air. But after hearing that story, that's where my mind went. But anyway, he had a collection of 50 vacuum cleaners, and his love for them has led him to opening Britain's first vacuum cleaner museum. He can identify different brands of vacuum cleaners in his collection simply by their sound.
I knew it.
They talk to him. He understands their language.
He identifies as a vacuum.
Yes. A strong man, George Levasseur. He was with Ringling Brothers Circus in the early 20th century. He was able to bear a 17-man human pyramid on his back. Woo! That weighed a total of, get this, 3,257 pounds.
Wow.
For those across the pond, that is 1,477 kilograms.
Woo! Hip, hip.
The Detroit-born performer could also carry the weight of another fully grown, you guessed it, elephant. Leave these elephants alone.
Keep the elephants out of it. They should be endangered. Just so people will leave them alone.
Yes.
Well, aren't they? Because of their tusks?
I thought that they were yeah, you can't hunt them. But I thought they weren't allowed in the circus any longer.
I hope not.
I thought the animals were outlawed.
No.
Because remember when we went to that?
Why can't only people be in circuses?
Well, that's
because that way they can say yes or no.
Exactly.
Leave the animals out of it.
Exactly. And also...
Or let them be the leaders. Let them whip the people.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Let them give the
Let them be the trainers.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be good. Like, you'd get your head stomped and then
One
you'd have to hang the
lions.
elephant. But like, remember we went to that weirdo Cirque du Paranormal? They didn't have one animal in there, but they had like the holograms.
Yeah.
That was cool as hell.
Yeah.
And nobody was getting hurt. No animals were getting, mistreated.
Right.
Because there were no animals. I mean, there's something to be said about animals, but zoos make me sad because I think about, they need to be free. Like when people have pet birds, makes me sad. I don't know. I just don't think we should cage animals. But then we have dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's feral dogs.
Right.
So are we bad? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think dogs need us.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need animals, but we don't need to abuse them and make them our trick ponies. You know what I mean?
Well, my dogs aren't trick ponies because they won't do nothing I ask them to do.
They're defiant.
Not one thing.
They're defiant.
Oh, they will sit. That's about it. But I have to hold something in front of them.
Yeah. You got to bribe them. Here's a person's leg.
Yeah.
And then they'll go for it.
Yeah.
I dare not go in your yard without you knowing, or I will be mauled. Mauled at my big 4'11" frame.
Yeah.